Good morning. So yesterday we went over the vocabulary for Unit 4, Week 1, and those words were generated, alignment, periodic, inconvenience, um, prolonged, tenacity, calamity, and eclipse. So if by us going over those words yesterday, we should definitely be able to easily comprehend the text because we know those important vocabulary words from the unit. So we're going to go ahead and get started with reading the selection, which is the day the dam broke. As we read this selection, we will be stopping to answer questions related to each section of this particular passage. All right. So once we stop, after we read the section, we'll stop and then we'll discuss your answer questions related to the main idea for that section. All right. All right. So here we go. Okay. The day the dam broke.
Down in the Valley. Johnstown, Pennsylvania, lies in a beautiful valley in the Appalachian Mountains. Two rivers flank the town, so in the early 1800s, people began using the water power to run grist mills for grinding flour. By 1834, Johnstown had become a key junction on the Pennsylvania Canal system. Many new businesses were generated. The new prosperity was enough to offset any hardships caused by periodic flooding when the rivers swelled with snow melt and heavy spring rains. For Johnstown's residents, moving to higher ground until the water receded was an inconvenience they could tolerate. The stage is set. To supply water to the canal system during dry seasons, the state built a rock and earth dam 14 miles upstream from Johnstown on the Conemaugh River. At the dam's base, a drain fed water into the canal, but excess water from the lake behind the dam could also run off a spillway. In 1852, both canal and dam were abandoned when the Pennsylvania Railroad completed a line between Johnstown and Pittsburgh. In 1875, a man named Benjamin Ruff bought the property around the lake to build an exclusive resort called the South Fork Fishing and Hunting Club. Ruff repaired the dam and stocked the lake with fish, but valves and pipes previously laid in careful alignment to control the water flow were removed, and the drain beneath the dam was filled in. The dam's lip was lowered by 2 feet when the road on top was widened, and the spillway was screened in from a bridge above to keep fish from escaping. Unknowingly, Ruff had set the stage for disaster. A tremendous roar. On May 30th, 1889, the worst storm ever recorded in Johnstown's history hit the area. Nearly 10 inches of rain fell in just 24 hours. The next morning, the rivers around Johnstown swelled into roaring torrents. As they had so many times before, residents moved to higher ground to wait out the flood. Upriver, South Fork Club members feared the dam would fail if the lake rose any higher. Workers frantically tried to strengthen the dam. Men were sent to Johnstown to warn people. But the townspeople had heard too many such alarms over the years, and they ignored the warnings. Just after 3 p.m., the dam collapsed. Club members watched in horror as a 40-foot wave, about 2 million tons of water a half-mile wide, crashed down the river valley. Within minutes, the flood devoured 4 small towns. In less than an hour, it roared into Johnstown. Most people saw nothing. They heard only a thunderous rumble, but then the water was upon them. Those not instantly killed were swept away by the angry surge. A jumbled mass of water, houses, trees, Train cars, animals, and people smashed into the stone arches of the railroad bridge downriver. Anyone still alive at that point met with prolonged torment when the debris caught fire. Many more died. That evening, a telegraph message arrived in Pittsburgh from Robert Pitcairn, railroad superintendent and a member of the South Fork Club. It said simply, "Johnstown is annihilated." After the flood, response was swift as news spread. People around the world sent money, food, and clothing. The recently created Red Cross arrived to help survivors. Down but not defeated, the people of Johnstown showed great tenacity. They set up tents and began to rebuild. The 1889 flood is among the worst disasters in American history. Many blamed the South Fork Club for causing the calamity with its mishandling of the dam. The people of Johnstown sued. But the primary source courts ruled the flood an accident and awarded no money. Some club members contributed to relief efforts. Andrew Carnegie donated $10,000 and rebuilt the town's library. Other members remained silent. When another flood hit Johnstown in 1936, the federal government paid to have the rivers rerouted. Johnstown residents rebuilt once again, believing there would be no more floods. But on July 20th, 1977, nearly 12 inches of rain fell in 10 hours. 6 dams burst, pouring 128 million gallons of water into Johnstown. This time, many people moved, and businesses closed for good. Like an eclipse darkening the sky, the 1977 flood dimmed Johnstown's future. Today, key activities help reduce the danger to Johnstown. The National Weather Service sponsors a Flood Watchers program, and studies are done to identify weaknesses in the flood protection systems. But there is also an emergency plan, just in case the waters overrun Johnstown again.